Well, good morning everybody and welcome back to RobMotive. If you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider smashing that subscribe button right now. Today I'm going to be enhancing my Tacoma with some Cool TUFSKINZ Accents. Got them right here. Brad was nice enough to send me this stuff and I'm going to show you how to put it on. First of all, let's go over here and I'll show you exactly what it is I've got. Go ahead and point you guys down a little there. Few different things here. We have a gas cap holder. I like this because it bolts in and it should be nice and secure for the gas cap. Also, some trim pieces for the doors, both the driver's side, passenger side, front and rear, and then a little bit of bling inside for above the climate controls. Now, one thing I want to note, they did send me some color pieces for the front of the grill. You know, they typically go on the front of the grill right here in this area. However, I have the OEM grill on my truck, so they don't really fit on there, but if you've got the TRD Pro grill, they just stick right on there and they'll add a little bit of accent coloring to the front of your grill. Now, let's go over, we're going to start with this gas cap holder first, and all you need to do that is a little bit of rubbing alcohol, a cloth, and a screwdriver. We are going to start with the carbon fiber. There are other finishes you can get, gas cap holder. Now, before we get going, I should point out, there will be links below. You guys can check this out for pricing, availability, all that stuff. Also, you can go to TUFSKINZ.com and use discount code RobMotive10 for 10% off your order. Well, let's point you down here. I'll show you how to get this put on. Now, one thing that some of you may say, because I've mentioned this before, so kind of is a built-in gas cap holder right here on the little prong that secures the lid. That works, but the problem with that I've found is a lot of times the gas cap falls out of this. If it's windy, it'll swing this shut, the gas cap will fall down. It's not a great solution. It works, but not perfectly. So, there is adhesive on the back of the holder here. Let me open this up, I'll show you. And that is to stick it down right across the top here. I'm sorry, across the side here. There's the little adhesive strip. It's just a little thin piece of 3M tape. So, obviously we want to clean that surface off so that we get good adhesion. You just need a little bit of alcohol and a cloth. Pretty simple to do. Let me go ahead and clean that off real quick. Again, you just want to make sure that you give it the best opportunity to stick, obviously, so make sure we get that good and cleaned off. Rubbing alcohol, I have found, is like the universal cleaner, right? And see, there's a little bit of dirt on there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but obviously that would not promote good adhesion. So we go ahead, we'll clean that off well. There you go, pretty simple. Now, the next thing, you want to always do a test fit just to make sure that the part fits correctly. And I've never had any trouble with anything from TUFSKINZ. So there's the screw that it's going to bolt through. We're going to take that screw out. It's going to go through just like that. And you can see it is a perfect fit on there. So kudos to TUFSKINZ again for designing a part that actually works. I've had many companies that don't pay as close attention to detail, I guess. So let's go ahead, we're going to remove that screw. Just need a Phillips head screwdriver to do that. Should come right out of there, and I'm hoping the nut on the back is fastened on. We're going to find that out in just a minute. I believe it is. And it is. So the nut that's on the back is fastened on. It's not going to fall off when you take the screw out, right? So we'll set that aside. Let's go ahead, peel the tape off. And another thing I like, and this is a crazy little detail, they give you a little ear on here to grab onto. It's always such a drag to try to grab the edge to get the tape off. I don't know. Just one of those little things, again, a little attention to detail type thing, I guess. So now we're going to go ahead and I am going to try to get the screw in there before I stick it down so that I get proper placement, if that makes any sense. So I don't want to fasten it on yet as far as that tape goes. Let's get the screw started back in. Okay, now that I have the screw in a little bit, I can see where I'm going to end up. That's how it should fit right there. Put a little bit of pressure on it to make sure that we're getting good adhesion on the edge there. And then I'll come back on and we'll tighten this screw back up. Okay, there you go. It's just that easy to do. Not a complicated mod. Got it on there. You can see that's a nice little touch. I like the way that it looks. I've always liked carbon fiber anyway. The way that it works, take your gas cap off, stick it in there like so, fill your gas up, and then go ahead, remove your gas cap, put it back in, and you are golden. How simple is that? Let's close it, make sure we get a good close. No problems there whatsoever. There's nothing behind it where the new holder is going to hit. Pretty cool little mod. Okay, this next one is pretty cool. You know, I like little subtle touches. You know, if you remember back to my 2018 Tacoma, I went crazy and did too much. But this is a nice little subtle touch. And what it is just a little voodoo blue trim piece that fits right in this open slot. I mean, right now you just have a naked open slot right there, right? This fits in there to just give you a little bit of blue bling there. And I think that's going to be pretty darn cool. Now, to install this, they do give you a black spacer piece, if you will. That goes in first, and then your blue trim piece fits right on top of that. They do that because there's a pretty decent gap in between the outer edge of the door here and the edge that you're going to stick this to. So, first things first, you want to clean that off. I'm just using a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol. I just stick the Q-tip in there first, just go along that edge. You know, you want to go right up against the edge that you're going to stick things to. Look at that, it even moves a little bit. To clean that off, there was a little bit of grime in there. Next up, you want to grab your rubbing alcohol. Get a little bit of, well actually I'll probably get a lot, of rubbing alcohol on the Q-tip. So let's see if I can do this without dumping it out all over the place. Yeah, not too complicated. And then just clean that inside out. Just run that across there. And of course rubbing alcohol evaporates really quickly, so I just give it a couple minutes after you get it across there. Now, one thing that you might be asking is why not just pop this off? It just pulls out. Go ahead and stick everything to it. You could do that, but I want to make sure that there's plenty of clearance with it on. So I'm going to go ahead and install this with it on the way it is, so that I'm sure that I'm clearing the bottom lip of the door handle here. All right, I've let that dry for just a couple minutes. Again, rubbing alcohol takes very little time to dry. You want to grab your black spacer piece. Make sure you're using the right one. Obviously, it fits in the slot pretty securely, so kind of hard to mess up. It's not going to fit that way. Go ahead and pull the cover of the tape off the back. Again, comes off nice and easily. I like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we get this in there the right way. So, I'm going to kind of push it in like so. And make sure it fits at the bottom, obviously, down here. Like so. That's about it. Now, I'm going to use a little tool, a little trim removal tool, just to push it in to make sure that I make contact. Like so. Again, just doing it carefully, and I don't want to lift this thing up because I do want to make sure that it stays down, because I don't want it below the door handle itself. So just kind of pushing it in there just to make contact. Not a big deal. Be easy to do, like so. And if you've cleaned it off well, should fit in there pretty good. So that's it. That puts that piece in. Now obviously I've handled the black piece, so I want to clean that off with a little bit of rubbing alcohol as well. This is still damp, so I'm just going to run this across there. Make sure that I get good adhesion. You know, when you're dealing with adhesive, always want good adhesion. Obviously, let that dry for a couple minutes. And then grab the proper blue trim piece. Looks just like this. Again, make sure that you got it the right way. You've got it the right way, and that it's going to fit in there well. And mine does so well that it doesn't want to come out. There we go. So we're going to peel the tape off of this one just like the other. Hopefully it comes off as easy as the other one did, and it does. Awesome. I can't tell you how many times I have fought with the tape on adhesive to get it off of parts. It is a drag. But this comes off really easy. I like that. Now, same thing. We're just going to stick it in over the black insert that we put there. And then I'm just going to use the trim tool again to push it against that black piece gently. That's about it. So I'm going to go over that a couple more times. I'm going to finish the rest, and then I'll show you what the truck looks like with these in. I think it's a pretty cool look. These last two pieces are just little trim pieces that go above the climate controls. Same procedure. You want to wipe it off with alcohol, the surface, and you'll be able to see where they're at as soon as I get them in. It's pretty tight in there to film this, so I'm not going to film me actually sticking them on, but you'll get the general idea. So let me go ahead and put these on. One tip I want to mention, this little piece goes around a bit of a bend. So not a bad idea to heat this up a little bit with a hairdryer. I probably wouldn't use a heat gun, but you could. Just to soften up a little bit so that it gets a good bend in it so that it adheres to the surface properly and stays that way. Otherwise, you're going to have a little bit of spring in it. Let's get them on. Okay, got everything done. There's one more thing I wanted to show you before I pull it out in the sun and show you the new interior, and it is awesome. You remember I mentioned about these little color plates that go on the front of the grill if you have the TRD Pro grill. They also have a can opener, or bottle opener rather, that has matching colors across it. You see that there? Pretty darn cool. Anyway, they sent this along, thought I would mention it. Nice little keychain to put your keys on. Let's take a look. Perfect day to do it. Bright sunshine out here. Man, I gotta say, it is hot. 91 degrees, and I'm sweating to death. 50% humidity. Anyway, let's take a look inside. First of all, well, we'll start outside. Give you a quick shot of the gas cap holder right there. Looking awesome. Now, let's check the inside. I gotta say, I love these. Just a little bit of bling as you open up the door. Not overdone. And yes, I did ask my wife, what do you think of that? Is it too much? She said no, she liked it. But you have it here in the driver's side door, over there in the passenger side door, and then here in the back, same thing. You have a nice little color feature right here on the door handle, and over there on the passenger side. You may notice a blue theme in my truck anyway. Gee, I don't know why. One more thing, the other thing that I did here, and that was some trim pieces right above the climate controls right there. Ties into everything, I think. We've got the lettering on the glove box there. You see the Tacoma over there, which, by the way, I got that from TUFSKINZ as well. But everything ties in nicely. Flows right across. I think it looks pretty darn sharp in there. On over here to the new side. Pretty darn cool, and very simple mods to do. None of this is complicated. You know, it took me probably 5 minutes, maybe 10, because I took my time. Anyway, just wanted to do some enhancing of my Tacoma with some cool stuff from TUFSKINZ. Again, there'll be links down below, as well as a discount code if you want to go over to TUFSKINZ and pick this stuff up. Pretty cool stuff. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you have this stuff? Are you considering it? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. And RobMotive Tundra, about my quest for the new redesigned Toyota Tundra. Check them out, and if you like them, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.